Hello and good evening. This is Shelvon and Elton with the UN podcast. Stay up and figure out what the UN stands for. Uh, we'll get there at some point, all right? So, how you doing, Elton?
Doing great.
Okay, we missed last week because it was Papa's Day.
It was.
Yeah. Well, you know, um, lost my dad about, geez, almost 28 years ago.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
hmm,
So before the 2000s.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was before 1999. It was I was still in New Orleans, so it was probably around 97, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, that's kind of a downer, but I hope you have fun with your pops.
Thanks. Yeah, it did. Kind of puts things into perspective.
Yeah. Especially given like where we work at.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. People seem one way one day and then gone the next.
Nah, yeah.
Like one of the guys who used to work there, he wanted to I guess he noticed that the rest of us were super jaded about stuff, and he was like, "I don't want to get like how you guys are or whatever." And I'm kind of looking at him as like, "Well, you got two choices: you either become jaded like the rest of us, or you find another job."
And he chose.
I don't know. I think he's still RT, but
Oh.
yeah, that's the one who was married to the Japanese lady. So I think he might have went back to Japan.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He, it, what's funny is I realized that it used to bother me that this stuff don't bother me. Now it no longer bothers me that it doesn't bother me.
That it doesn't bother you. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, it's really weird. But that is the nature of what we do. You at least get to be more like more with the joyful type stuff, I guess.
Oh, I'm just the beacon of joy there.
Hey, better than the rest of us. So, eh. Well, there's like the House of Dragon is today, and I have little to no interest in watching that.
I watched last week's episode, not on the day of, but a few days
Hmm.
later. I haven't
Yeah.
seen tonight's episode yet.
Well, it probably just went off, so it would be a little
Yeah.
difficult. There's a lot of in depth discussion, I guess, but the way the algorithm works, I don't see anybody really talking about it.
I know, yeah, compared to like I don't know, maybe I'll watch like one video of like, the season opener tonight or something on YouTube. Maybe it'll
Hmm.
start appearing in my feed. I didn't see anything really.
Yeah, dude, and that's
Yeah.
that's what sucks about all this algorithm type stuff is you used to be able to discover stuff on like YouTube. Remember how when it was actually YouTube and not what it is now?
Yeah.
Like you like it would show you stuff that's similar to what you looked at instead of recommendations of stuff that it just recommends you. So you can really go down a rabbit hole of all the various conspiracy theories and whatnot of whatever it is that you were looking at.
Right.
Now you still get interesting stuff, but it's more like it just randomly pops up and then you can subscribe to that channel and then you can watch that. But
There's a few good ones when what the algorithm recommends, but
mhm.
I had remembered like, oh, I remember subbing to this channel like, some time ago, and then come to find out it's like, oh, they, somehow appeared in my feed again, but like I missed like the last like 20 videos or something. I'm like, oh, so they have been posting, it just hasn't been appearing.
Yeah, it's just not showing it to you.
Yeah.
It's like
And then
really
I kind of
strange.
noticed that too. It's like, oh, they're even getting like less views on those videos that I missed also.
Yeah, there seems to be a similar thing to a lot of these channels, but it's not all of them. but it's a lot. And that's one of the complaints I've heard over the last, I don't know, year or so about that kind of stuff. Where it is, I don't know what's going on. What it seems like to me is the person who's in charge now kind of wants YouTube to be something that it's not because they're listening to the wrong people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like, bro, this thing. Well, what it really, really reminds me of is like you remember TiVo?
Oh wow, yeah. That I do.
It was super popular because nobody wants to watch commercials, and then TiVo gets purchased by I don't know somebody who decides that no, what people really want is commercials. And given how it fell off, no, that's not what people wanted. People did not want to watch commercials. So you put in commercials in the thing that I bought specifically so I don't have to watch commercials. Sort of defeat the purpose of me giving you money every week. So people stop giving them money.
That's kind of how it died out, huh?
Pretty much. Because they stopped doing the thing that people got it for.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't want to watch commercials. And you see this like a lot. It's like the thing this week is apparently a plane is flying over. Like the thing this week is about Supergirl and how the chick who's in for doing what the hell? There's an airplane flying over my house.
Probably another military training exercise.
No, it's probably I don't know. This is weird stuff. Also, like she's all big talk, ahead of time and whatnot, and then it's not gonna make any. I think it was projected to make about 68 million worldwide, which is nuts.
A huge disappointment.
You, no, I've heard a lot of takes, and so you get the nobody wants female superhero type thing. Like, no, you can probably put something out at some point, not right now, where it'll be a superhero thing, kind of how like Wonder Woman was. But you are fighting a huge like wall because of everything that came before. So all the girl boss stuff. It's just kind of what happened with the ballerina, which is supposedly good, and that Fury Road thing, which supposedly was good. But they ran into the same thing. Is people so tired of being lectured by the like activist writers that anything that even looks like it's gonna be like that, they're like, "Nah, I'm good." But they keep it's not like all it takes is like, well, they keep doing this. I'm like, bro, you gotta remember it takes a long time to make a movie. Like a long time, right? And so you adjusting to what reality is for right now, that's gonna take, I keep saying it, and other people keep saying it too. It's like it's gonna take a few years before you get the results of like what's going on today. You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I saw something. See if I can find it. There was an announcement for the next Avengers movie. So I guess they like what they see for the Russo brothers for this particular incarnation of the Avengers. So they're giving them another one. And if I can find the thing, check it out. It's a channel. Dude, did you hear about what's going on in Europe right now?
How there's like people dying because of the lack of air conditioning.
Right. And the fact that their governments are actively trying to prevent them from getting air conditioning, which as an American person, it is the craziest thing.
It is. You know, when I heard about that, like that's insane because I feel like those are like very preventable deaths, and then it seems like their governments just seem to not care, which is
No, all right. Uh,
I think that
one.
is insane.
No, I watch a couple of reaction channels with these guys in London or whatever, right? So they're just talking about like different things in America. They like a lot of people in Europe actually think that air conditioned units will make you sick. It's like a lot of weird stuff that they think. So I don't know if it's just
Mm.
like if like they just convince themselves with these things, like somehow it's detrimental to their health. And I was looking at this German guy who bought a house in Florida, and he was like, he said one of his family members was visiting or whatever, and they were remarking about the air conditioning, and it's like, bro, Florida is if you don't have this, you're gonna uh, pass on to the next life. So it's like you kind of need this. So it's weird for 90% of the homes in America have air conditioning, all right?
Uh-huh.
And in like the UK, it's like 14%. And the
Yeah,
government
it's a
actually
really staggering low amount. It's a
right.
really
So it's
foreign thing.
right. And it's like,
Yeah.
so right now, because all this is coming out because everything is global now, they're getting shit posted by Chinese people who are saying that even my pigs have air conditioning.
Air condition.
Right. It's like your government is trying to off you, but
The
is
the thing that doesn't, I understand that because it's like, okay, so maybe it's a cultural thing, but it's like at the same time, I think they're saying like in France alone, there were like
mhm,
over 1,000 people that died, right?
mhm,
And then I think across like Europe, 1,300 or so.
mhm,
Um, and it's like wow, for like these, supposed like first world countries, it's
mhm,
like they had not solved the issue of this because like I understand that they're not used to this heat. I do get that, but
yeah,
like as you were saying, like Florida and Arizona here, like the heat is just like this like every summer or even earlier, and
yeah.
it's every day. So like, how have they not like uh thought of like building cooling centers or telling people to like shelter
It's
or
it's
I
a
don't know.
different it is a different mindset. Keep in mind, their houses are designed because they only get a little bit of summer. Their houses are designed for winter.
Oh,
So
right, right, yeah.
it absorb like the heat just stays in the house.
Stays in the
So they're telling people that they should just open up the window and like put a fan or something. It's like, bro, there's technology that is in existence.
It's called air conditioning.
Right. And it's like it's all right. Somebody was going on about, like because I guess they got tired of Americans making fun of them, right? So they're like, I want to see you like stand up to I don't know what country this was, like the winter time or whatever. And it's like you listen to him, it's like, bro, you really don't understand anything about America, do you? I'm like, it gets colder in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota than any country in in Europe.
In Europe, yeah, right, yeah.
Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's like well below minus Fahrenheit.
Negative 30. Like, you got to go into like closer to Russia to get something that's
That's how
like,
cold we're getting, yeah.
yeah, like the how Minnesota is. And it still gets 100 degrees in Minnesota in the summertime,
True, yeah.
right? So it's like, and I've watched a lot, like I said, I've watched a lot of these people reacting to like American stuff. And so I got a little bit of an insight into how they build their houses. Like they build their houses out of stone. I mean, like out of bricks and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, that I guess that will work to a degree for a cold winter, but it's not given how the climate is changing, and that's like a whole thing that the people who are climate activists don't seem to understand. It's like, yeah, the climate is changing. Nobody's disagreeing with you on that. What we're disagreeing on is what's causing it. I personally think that it just is a natural cycle. It just we're going into the next phase of how everything is on Earth. But you think that if nobody and this is part of the issue in Europe is it is about climate change. So everybody gets to suffer and all these people get offed because of climate change. Like it's like the fact that we can't have plastic bags because we're fighting climate change, yet China is pumping all kind of coal mine dust, whatever, into the air. So it's like, so what effect does me not having a plastic bag have on to combat that?
Remember that paper bag is gonna save the entire world.
Yeah, dude, it's like crazy, but these people are like, but that's what it is. It's like, dude, like people are are like being unalived, as they say, to be YouTube safe. People are being unalived, and it's like what you're doing is not gonna do anything to the global stuff unless you can do is like they always point back to that mountain of plastic or whatever that floating in the ocean. And it's like, okay, where is that mostly coming from? Yeah, it's coming from the places that will not listen to you, like at all. Which is why you protest in Europe
Yeah, right.
and not these places that are doing most of the stuff. So yeah, I cannot find this. Oh, I could probably
And
type it in.
and then I think some people were saying it's like, oh, we don't need air conditioning because it's like, oh, summer is just like, a month or something.
I don't care if
So
it's a week.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And then I think they were saying it's like, oh, we're not gonna use it all the time. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
people here don't use it all the time either during the winter.
Yeah, it's like okay, we can do a quick reaction to this, just to change topics a little bit, because I find the thing that I was looking for. All right, but this is basically why I decided to just, and I think I'm gonna probably do this from now on, just like we just talking about stuff, because I don't know what we're gonna get to or whatever. So I'm just trying to figure out. It's like, all right, we was getting a little bit of views when I just put like a plain thing on, and then when I went back to doing stuff while I'm posting the things we're gonna talk about, got like 4 views. I don't really understand YouTube at this present moment. Kind of weird. All right, so
We're getting another Avengers movie from the Russo brothers. And that makes me feel really good about Avengers Doomsday because clearly Kevin Feige is happy with what the Russo brothers have done to get them to do yet another Avengers film.
they
Now,
all look
this could be
constipated.
a brand new Avengers film set in the new universe, or could actually be a Secret Wars part.
Like I know why he's smiling because he's getting like $100 million to do this.
I'd be smiling too.
Two, which the Russo brothers did kind of hint at recently. What's
Mhm.
going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. Obviously, we got to dive into this new Avengers movie report with the Russo brothers, and we have to talk about the Illuminati because I think that actually could be kind of a main point of the new Avengers movie, regardless if it is a Secret Wars Part 2 or a completely new Avengers film. I think they'll probably have a big role for the Illuminati in both of these films. Let's go to what Alex Perez has recently said in his Q&A. Somebody asked if there were any cool tidbits that you might have heard about Avengers Secret Wars. And he said this, just the exploration of a two-parter. I can confirm through sources and evidence provided recently that the Russo brothers have another Avengers film that they're working on aside from Doomsday and Secret Wars. Based on their statements, there's a chance it'll involve splitting Secret Wars into two. So there's a chance of that. However, it could also be the next Avengers installment. Now,
All right. what are they filming? And that they can split the second movie of this like two into two. No, I don't. I'm familiar with most of the storylines of the comic base on most of this stuff, right? I have no idea how they're gonna be able to do Secret Wars because there's so much stuff that's missing that you would have to explain. Like, one, you're gonna have to explain in Doomsday how Doctor Doom has the ability to create a planet. Right? Because that's basically what Secret Wars when you're dealing with Doom with Doctor Doom, right? He gets the powers of the Beyonder, so you got to explain the Beyonder and how, like, what they are and all this other stuff. That's why you needed all the build-up movies, and you need to explain Thanos. Imagine them trying to do Infinity War in one movie without having set up anything.
Oh joy.
Right. So you got to try to explain why Thanos is doing what he's doing, why everybody fears him, why anything. But you seeding this story through all 20 whatever movies you made, little 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. So by the time you get to Infinity War, everybody knows who Thanos is for the most part. And you don't have to explain his backstory because he actually explained it a little bit here and there. All right. So then when he further elaborates what his point is, you can that's why Infinity War was mostly about Thanos. Because you didn't have to tell who this person is and that person is and who Iron Man is and who Captain America is and, and Thor and all this other stuff. I don't have to explain none of these things. Yeah, he can. You've already seen what he can do. You can see what he can do. You can blah 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 blah. All right. So for Secret Wars, in terms of spoilers, is part of the things that allows Doom to do what he does is the powers of the Beyonder and Molecule Man. But to explain Molecule Man, you got to actually understand the first Secret Wars, because that's where, like, it's like a whole you got there's 20 years of comic book type stuff where you got to explain who Molecule Man is and why he has the powers, because he can manipulate molecules. God level, cosmic level powers, right? And he basically was an experiment, which is they probably gonna discuss is how he was an experiment. If I can remember correctly, he was an experiment from Doctor Doom. I think it was him. Like I said, this is like 20 years ago, and I read a comic book in a while. But and he tapped into this power, so he got this ridiculous power, right? And Battle World is just bits and pieces of different planets, all smashed together into one planet, and then you go from there, right? This is something you would need to explain over a large, because nobody actually knows who Doctor Doom is, like the normal people, normies, but have no idea who Doctor Doom is. They probably heard about him, like how they probably heard about Lex Luthor or the Joker or something like that, right? And you can make a Joker movie because it's been in the mythos for so long. Your average person knows who this person is for the most part. So then, because you didn't make a proper Fantastic Four movie where you had Doctor Doom, and then you decided to skip over their origin and have them be established heroes, right? Well, Doctor Doom is connected to them. So while it was a nice Easter egg at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, it's like it don't like stuff makes any sense, because this is not the Doctor Doom that they would know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I don't get. And then so he's talking about the Illuminati. All right, well, the Illuminati is Black Panther, the Submariner, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, like Tony Stark, Professor X, and who's the other one? Oh, Mr. Fantastic. All right, so that's who the Illuminati in the comic book is. They decided in the Doctor Strange movie to make the Illuminati like female Captain America, the Black Captain Marvel, like Black Bolt. Oh yeah, Black Bolt is another one too. So they had half of the Illuminati, and then they had other like ones they just threw in, which is weird because you have the rights to all these characters now. So you could have just actually had but they didn't introduce Submariner at the time, and then they decided to make the Submariner what they did. So it's like Atlantis is just as technologically advanced as Wakanda is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason why Black Panther, and there's a lot of reasons, but Black Panther and Namor bump heads a lot. Arrogance, two kings, that whole thing. And they kind of alluded to it a little bit during Endgame. So in Endgame, there was a disturbance under the ocean at a little section, right? So Black Widow was like, maybe we should look into that. And one of the those female warriors from Wakanda was like, kind of like dismissed it. Like it's nothing. It's just a thing under the ocean, right? It's one of those things where if you know, then it's like, oh, that's a little Easter egg type shit. Because they had animosity with each other, and she would know what's going on at that little area, right?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like I don't understand how they're doing all these. It's like they see stuff that they like and just decide that they want to do it, even though story wise it don't make no sense because you haven't established enough stuff for this to work. It's like you do Infinity War, but you don't have Adam Warlock, and you introduce Adam Warlock later, and then you make him an idiot. Even though you already introduced him earlier. So you introduced him earlier in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 at the end. So it's like, again, the people who understand the story were like, oh shit, we're gonna have Adam Warlock, and because he's tied all into the Infinity War thing, and then the Infinity War happens and there's no Adam Warlock. So I don't know. This is so let's
I want you to
continue.
keep in mind what the Russo brothers, specifically Joe Russo, said very recently in an interview. He stated, and remember, this is after Avengers Doomsday. Yes, they've done some reshoots and such and might still be doing some, but basically after all the principal photography has wrapped and, you know, they're really far along with Avengers Doomsday at this point. He said that he's so glad that he got to work with Robert Downey Jr. again, and he looks forward to working with him 2 more times. So this could be huge. This could mean that, yeah, they're going to split Secret Wars into 2 different parts, which if they have this big grand story and there's a lot going into the story, split it into 2 different parts. Don't make one movie and rush it, right? Don't have it flawed because you're pressed for time. Then again, I think a lot of people might have an issue with sitting through an entire 4-hour movie. I would love a 4-hour movie, but I'd need an intermission in between to use the bathroom and get refills, etc. Right? It'd be hard to sit for a straight 4 hours. So
I can, at my house. Like the Snyder cut for the Justice League was like 3.5 hours.
That's kind of long.
Yeah, at my house, I can.
Yeah, at your house.
Yeah,
pause it.
Pause. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Pause. I'm gonna make something to eat right quick.
Stretch your legs.
Stretch my legs. Well, I mean, you're on the sofa, so it's not like you're doing strenuous type activities, right? But like sitting in the movie theater, even though the seats are pretty comfortable, like when you get to a newer theater, 4 hours is a lot.
Yeah.
Splitting it into 2 different parts, giving all of these different characters more time to be explored, having them have their stories fully fleshed out, I think would be a really good idea. But Alex does talk about how it could simply be a new Avengers movie. And I think that would actually make a lot of sense as well, because we have heard that the Russo brothers are staying on past Secret Wars. They are staying on for the new universe, for the new chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, he's already called this the Mutant Era. It's not officially dubbed the Mutant Saga yet, but he did say the next chapter is the Mutant Era. So it's heavily going to focus on the X-Men, but they're not just going to forget about the Avengers. Having an Avengers movie pretty early on in the new chapter of the MCU with the new universe would make a lot of sense, so they could establish that team. They're going to establish the X-Men. Why?
So my question is, who is going to be on the Avengers? Is it anybody left? Because most of them no longer want to do this stuff.
It's a great question.
So, the only way that I can see this actually being an effective thing is you've already introduced the multiverse, and you've established that the same character can look differently in different universes, right? You know, with the three different Spider-Man, they all different sizes, different ages, but they're existing at the exact same time, right? Which can be kind of explained where if you go back in their family history, this particular, like you go back far enough where you replace one person and not immediate or like, you know, because it gets up. So once you get into the, like when there's 1,000 people in terms of your bloodline, you know, like great, whatever, right? So you may be able to replace one of those people without it adversely affecting you being born. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to go back really, really freaking far, right?
I think I read that or I watched like a YouTube video on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of talked about like, oh, if you go far back enough, then you know, like, oh, your gene pool would still kind of make you like, you know, the person that you are today, kind of.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's so far removed or something.
I'm pulling that out of my ass a little bit, but but in turn, but it would introduce a different type of genome to your bloodline. So, and you know how genetics works. It's a crapshoot. Like, you can have all short friggin' people and then one tall person in your family, or you can have all tall people and then one short person, and it just how the genes combine, right? So for diseases and all that stuff. So you can conceivably have the same person look 3 different ways based off of a myriad of factors. All right. So that in a sense is you can have multiple Captain Americas, right? So you can get a new Captain America, a new Tony Stark, a new blah 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 blah. They can have similar, because once you get to where they're at now, they would have similar terms of a lifestyle kind of thing, and all that would shape how you see the world. So you would have the same mother and same father or whatever, but you will look a little different.
Ah, okay.
All right. So I guess I don't know. I mean, that's how I would try to explain that if I had to. Even though it's probably overthinking, and you just say, hey, this is what he looks like now. So because it's like you're gonna do the X-Men, but you need to fully flesh out the MCU universe in order to do that. And part of the thing that the Illuminati was doing was like, it's the incursion. So the incursions is like a thing in comics. And so you got Namor and you got T'Challa, who are basically like uber stoic. We see the world like this kind of folks, right? So they're in it's us or them. So they were like doing things to prevent. I guess the Earth were converging in the same spot, but if you did something, it would prevent the other Earth from showing up, I guess. it would destroy that other Earth in the process, but you would save yours.
Ah, okay.
All right. So like Namor and and T'Challa had no problem doing this. All right. When you bring in Captain America and like I was like, this is not cool or whatever, right? But another thing that they did, and this is can introduce in, but I don't know how they can do this. They Tony Stark and Reed Richards and I forgot which one of them decided that the Hulk was causing too much issues on Earth, right? Too much stuff. It was too much. So what they decided to do was to knock him out, put him on a rocket or a ship, because you got Reed Richards and Tony Stark that can build spaceships, and their plan was to send him to a peaceful planet with it's like in the Goldilocks zone of the solar system, plenty of sun, plenty of food, and like it's compatible for him to be able to eat all that kind of stuff. But there's nobody there for him to destroy stuff. It's just like a planet where it just no intelligent species developed. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is that when they launched this thing, they didn't. They unexpected thing happened, and he wound up going to a completely different planet where it was extremely hostile and full of people that was there already, and all of that, right? So he became a gladiator, and he fell in love. He had a kid. It's like a whole thing. It's basically, I don't know if you saw the end of She-Hulk.
Oh no.
All right. So in She-Hulk, they actually touched on that where the Hulk had to leave. Something happened. He had to leave. And then when he came back, he had like a grown ass kid with him. All right, this is my son. Anybody like, what? So they kind of they MCU'd it where for some reason he had no problem because it was a voluntary thing. So like a voluntary thing. Whereas like Planet Hulk and World War III Hulk and all that stuff, he was very, 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 very angry about it. Because to correct their problem, they attempted to, I don't know, kill him. It was something they tried to do where it wound up killing his wife and a bunch of other stuff. So when he came back to Earth, he was really pissed. Like breaking people's hands. It's like he was angrier than he's ever been in the world, and nobody could do anything to stop him because he was just that upset. And it was Banner and him who was upset. So it's not like they can calm him down and he become Banner. Like, no, Banner was just as mad as the Hulk personality.
As the Hulk was, yeah.
All right. So these are all this but this is all this stuff that is years of comic books. So I don't know how you do an Illuminati thing without it being just the Illuminati in name only.
Why not establish the Avengers? Why not establish? I think you really do have to establish what's going on with the Fantastic Four, because they're from a different universe. They're going to be in the same one. It's all kind of necessary to kind of start establishing everything in the beginning. So that could simply just be the Avengers' new team. But I do have a really interesting theory based on something else that Alex Perez has said. And I was already thinking this before, just based on how we know Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars is going to go. I was already kind of thinking that this was the route that the Russo brothers might head down. So Alex Perez was also asked if there's going to be any changes made to the comic story runs and, what they portray on screen. And I would simply say myself as well, not being an insider, but just knowing how it works, they never really adapt page for page what happens in the comics, right? It's always just their interpretation of it, different version of it.
Which is usually lacking.
Some things you do want to be like, you want it to be exactly the same, but some things it has to be different because it's movies and we would know the entire story and it's just how it is. So some things will change, but this is what Alex said. The Black Priests, the Black Swans, and the Builders. Also, technically, we get a form of Illuminati 2.0, though they don't call themselves that. He did elaborate on this by stating they don't have a name, but literally the whole point is for you to look at them and be like, hey, it's Professor X, Black Panther, Reed Richards. Whoa, Illuminati reference. So the way he talks about this does imply that this is going to be some sort of a team, not just like, oh, hey, we have random characters on screen that are fighting each other. And oh my gosh, look, in one fight over here, it's Reed Richards, and the other fight over here, it's Professor X. It doesn't seem like that's how it's going to be. It seems like there's going to be an actual organization formed, and we are going to start to see these characters meet. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, wait, these specific characters are meeting. This is the Illuminati. What Alex is saying is, in the meeting, they're not specifically going to say, all right, Illuminati, we have gathered you here today, right? And they're not going to call themselves that, but it seems like it's going to be, sounds like a lot of the Illuminati, or actually at least original characters from the comics are going to be in this, which I'm all here for, but I think they serve a very specific point. You might have heard my theory about this before, but I think depending on what happens in the new universe, they're going to basically be in charge of the new universe. They're going to be in charge of making sure no branch timelines happen, right? Because originally the plans for Kang Dynasty, what we heard, and Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars before they moved from Kang to Doom, were going to be that everything is kind of in a loop, a giant loop. There's a multiversal war. It almost ends. Somebody, Kang, in the first instance that we've heard, secludes one timeline, separates it from the other, multiversal war averted, timelines start to branch again via, people.
That is the what are you talking about? Is the back is like the story of the Loki TV show, and I forgot what it's called. But it was in Daredevil too. I mean, not Daredevil. Deadpool. That group, that's what their job kind of was. It was like to prune out different multiverse for whatever reason, and it was like a whole thing that Kang kicked up. All right. So if you watch the Loki thing, and at the end, and he becomes the like in the Norse mythology is like the tree that all the realms are attached to.
All right.
So he is the one who's controlling that now. So, like I said, it's so much stuff. I don't know how they're gonna.
It would be so. Like the exposition would be crazy.
Yeah,
it's a lot of explaining. It might get very convoluted too.
Yeah. There is a hold on. Last TV show. Multiverse. See if I can figure out how it's like a clip. I can find it from the how they kind of handled that a little bit. They handled it as best as they could, but I can't because like in the DC TV universe, all the like Supergirl and the Flash and Arrow, well, not Arrow and the Flash were on the same planet, but Supergirl and Superman were on a different planet, and Black Lightning was on a different planet, and then they had like an event that combined basically all of the planets into one, and it's like a funny bit if I can find it that just in a nutshell explains how they just had like instead of getting super complicated and all this other stuff. I can't find it, and it's like how they handled it, and essentially they come all the planets combined into one. And they just kind of like that's just how it is now. Multiverse. I cannot remember how, because I saw this clip a long time ago, and it was just trying to flash, but they just kind of like. This is just how it is, and they knew, like, most people didn't know, right? So they didn't know about all this other stuff. And so one of them was like, because he knew, and he was like, I woke up and now Superman and Supergirl and all these people are on our planet now, and I both at the same time don't remember them being there and remember them being here. And he opens up his coat and he has a Superman t-shirt on, and he's like, I don't even know when I bought this. Sound like multiverses. Oh. Crisis. Maybe that's it. Oh, here you go. You know how sometimes YouTube will say, do you mean
Yeah.
this? And it's
Uh,
like, no, I don't mean that. All right, here we go. I found it. So this is a way that you can actually explain this.
Crisis is over. We beat the bad guy, and you're still worried because
an infinite number of Earths in cosmic universe from which only one Earth was rebuilt. Not only do Superman, Supergirl, and Black Lightning live here, but now our entire timeline has been rewritten so that they've always lived here, and I don't remember owning this shirt.
besides, isn't that a good thing? We're all one big happy family now.
No, it is not. Not when these guys are crashing the reunion. We did manage to pick up a butt ton of bad guys and aliens and more metas. The best part is a bunch of our old villains are back with fresh paint jobs.
When did you have time to do all this?
Eden Core, Top, Rainbow Raider.
Crisis.
You know what I mean? All right. So they can go that route where it's just like, this is just how it is right now. All right. He's like, screw it. This is what it looks like, and this is what that looks like, and you can just accept it or not. I think that would be way easier than for them to try to explain all of that. Because it would, like, I don't know how you would explain all of this. You gotta, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, so the Avengers movie is gonna have Steve Rogers, who everyone, but he's not gonna be Captain America. And then you're gonna have the Falcon, who is gonna be Captain America.
Captain America.
But Steve Rogers is Captain America, and the Falcon is the Falcon. So, regardless of the fact that the movie you made to put him there as captain flopped, nobody was interested in seeing that. Just like in the comic book, you're just gonna stick with it because you are afraid that a bunch of yahoos who lay claim to stuff because it has a black face now, even though historically that was not the case. I put it in the same category as Star Wars. Just cast a new Han, Luke, and Leia, and start with Truce of Bakura, because that takes place directly after the Return of the Jedi, and all the Disney stuff you made, get rid of it, because apparently nobody likes it. Nobody cares. Just do that. Just say, "Oops, my bad."
The somber reality.
Because, like, so you got Doomsday. Your average person kind of know who Doctor Doom is, but he's not tied to Fantastic Four. Then you're gonna have 100 freaking different characters. I don't know how you get any kind of character arc for any of these people. And then you're gonna go into Battle World, which could be a 4-hour movie, and then into the Illuminati, I guess. I don't know. You do you have any interest in playing as a to get off of that? So do you have any desire to play GTA 6 or just or watch somebody play or anything like that?
Yeah.
Well, you won't be able to get a physical copy of this thing, right? It's not going to come with a disc. It's going to come with a code, which is insane. It's like, why would I go into Walmart and purchase this if I don't get a disc? If I get a digital code, I might as well just buy it online. It's easier.
Oh my gosh. Is that how it's gonna be distributed?
Yeah. All right. I'll show you. They're talking about it on. All right. So GTA Physical Edition won't have a disc, and with no plans to add one anytime soon. Despite fan demand, the physical edition of GTA 6 will not come on disc, a fact that appears unlikely to change anytime soon. According to a new report from the Hollywood Reporter, Rockstar Games currently has no plans to release Grand Theft Auto 6 on physical disc, not at launch and not in the months to follow. While the game will still be available at retail stores in a physical box, that box reportedly contained only a digital download code rather than an actual game disc. Why would I purchase this? The clarification comes after widespread speculation that Rockstar's decision to forgo a disc at launch is simply a strategy to prevent leaks. Early reports, online rumors suggest that a traditional disc version might arrive sometime during the holiday season. Rockstar support confirmed that GTA 6 physical disc copies will be available. Blah blah blah. You will be able to acquire a physical copy during the following months. The current physical pre-orders are for digital code and box version. A screenshot from Rockstar. So society, fans have misinterpreted comments. Okay, so it is going to be one, but no time soon. It's like they. I was talking with someone today about. I keep saying that everything's a psyop. It's like everything is trying to herd all of us into a direction that most of us don't want to go in. From the AI stuff to the like, and it started and like everyone is acting like this stuff just started last year or 2 years ago. And I'm like, bro, this stuff has been in effect for decades. The slow herding everyone into a general direction. So we were looking at it was a it was a movie on with Kirstie Alley and John Travolta, right? And she was yelling at him about how he don't let her make any decisions, like how we got to follow all your decisions and blah blah blah, right? So I was talking with one of the people at work, like, can you imagine that on the I Love Lucy show, Lucy yelling at Ricky because he's making too many of the decisions? Never would happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
all right. And like this stuff started in the friggin' in the late 90s, right? And you're getting a lot of that type of stuff where it went from the man in the house to kind of like this everything. Co-parenting, this, that, this, that. All right. And it was all little subtle stuff. It's a little push. I want you to go that way. So here, push. But I'm gonna push you just slightly so that you just move slightly and you don't even notice it. Then I'm gonna come back and push you a little bit more so you don't notice that. And then after about a decade or so, you're way over here. You don't realize that you're over here or even how you got there. And it's like with everything, it's a whole. I am so pissed at myself for doing this. But I want to tell you about. I used to have a whole bunch of like paperbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I looked up one of the books that I had. They want like $40 for it. It's paperback. Because I've been buying paperbacks since like the 90s, right? So this stuff is 30, like the books I was buying, it was 30, like 30, 40, 50 years old. I got one science fiction book where they still refer to black people as Negroes. It's pretty old, right? So,
Yeah.
right. So, but I fell for the convenience thing, and this is how they get you with everything. That's why when you got a computer, you, I, I don't even know how you can buy a physical copy for a computer game right now. There's like no place to go for that, unless you buy like older games. But like new computer games, that doesn't exist. It is all digital. It's convenience. It's like, here's the thing. Not only we'll set up Steam for you, but we'll do a bunch of sales all the time to make it look like you're getting a bargain. Like, look, dude, you're just buying a license. They're not making this. They're not like they pay somebody one time or a group of people one time to make the art for it and all that stuff. And that's it. They don't have to print this on multiple copies of this disc. They don't have to go buy the little case to put the disc in and the plastic cover to go on top and the paper cover to go on top of that and the separate like cover art for the game and the cover art for the box for the game and all that stuff. They ain't gotta do none of that anymore. So they're selling you a license. So they can sell you the license for whatever they want because they're not putting any money into making a physical item anymore.
Man, that's I'm not for that.
Right. But the thing is this is when I talk about the push, the little push.
Yeah.
Yeah, convenience. Lots of sales. Lots of this, lots of that. Then the next thing you know, you're used to buying this thing like this. People used to get really excited about going to the record store to buy a record.
When was the last time anybody bought a record? Yeah, that's true.
No, people are still buying records.
It still
but
exists, yeah.
Right. It's a niche thing. It's not the main thing anymore.
Yeah.
But again, it's the push. Yeah, it's the frog chilling in the pot. You just crank up the heat a little bit, then sit back, let them get used to it. Crank it up a little bit more, sit back, let them get used to it. So by the time it gets uncomfortable, he's been sitting in the pot for a while.
Whoops, I'm burning. I'm cooking.
Yeah, why? What is that smell? And it's like it's all this stuff. So it's like the biggest game in the universe that's about to come out. It's like we'll see how many people buy this thing without physical media part, and then we'll wait. Even though the hype will be still relatively high because of what game this is, but it won't be as high as it was at the beginning. And yeah, that's how all this stuff works. And people can't figure out like
You think? I think regardless if it's on physical media or not, I think people will still show up to buy it.
yeah, there'll be some.
I think they'll be surprised. It's like, oh, we're not getting a physical copy.
Yeah, dude, I was in Walmart. Bro, I was in Walmart. They were talking about GTA 6 while I was in Walmart. Like the over the intercom. Telling you about pre-order.
Yeah.
Like, how do I need to pre-order a digital game for?
That is kind of that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but
it's what you're used to. So you're used to this particular thing. The reason behind it no longer exists, but it's something that you're familiar with. It's common, all its common practices about stuff. It's like, dude, it's kind of nuts, to be honest. And someone, I was looking at Asmongold. He was looking at this other video where this dude, like months ago, was basically saying this game is not going to be good because of various factors. One of the factors is the person who wrote the first games, like the first couple of games, left. One of the co-founders of the studio left. They bumping heads. And it's like, well, what they bumping heads about? Could be the fact that when GTA 5 came out, the studio was mostly men. And over the years, it's less and less men, more and more women. Remember I told you before, women make stuff for women.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make stuff for men. It's usually for women. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this more of a it is what it is thing, not a negative or a positive or whatever.
Not that it's a bad thing, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. So it's like, but the bad part comes in where it's your customer base is men still. Kind of like you remember all that STEM stuff? Like we need more women in STEM.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had countries that went out of their way to push women into STEM, and after spending all kinds of money and all kinds of time, and you know what? Women gravitated to the same jobs that they gravitated to before. Like, no one is keeping women out of construction jobs or any of these other things that they don't normally do. They just don't want to do them. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
right. So when you got your God of War game and it's full of pinks and purple stuff with and you're the person who you're fighting alongside is no longer a big beefy burly guy, but it's a cube, a talking cube, and you're fighting with a sword with ribbons on it. It's like you go, huh? Until you see what the studio looks like, and you go, okay.
You go, huh? And then you go, ah.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it's like all these studios and all this stuff. It's like, yeah. When you listen to the person who wrote Supergirl, who's gonna be doing Teen Titans and Wonder Woman. Right? She's gonna write those two. And then when you listen to her talk, you go, yeah, this is why this movie is like this. So it's like, all right, bro, you know what? It's part of the reason why I'm just the House of Dragon, and I haven't been interested in any of this stuff for just that reason. It's just I see the people who write this stuff, they don't really care to write things that I will be interested in. I go find something else. There's like you get mad about Batman, dude. There's 80 years of Batman comics. There's plenty to read. There are plenty of science fiction books to read. There are plenty of old movies to watch. Plenty of all that stuff. So I don't. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find this. There's an interesting quote from Russell Crowe about why Gladiator 2 didn't necessarily come out and say it, but he kind of said why that didn't do as well. And it's another one is I can find this thing. I watch too much crap because let me switch my account. Oh, there's the I have discussed. I remember we were talking about earlier about the Discovery stuff. Right on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You gotta check this out while I'm trying to figure the thing that I'm looking for. This is a married couple, right? And they do this thing where you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay.
Number 4 is Brass Head. Number 4 is
Dude, it's like so awesome. Let's see if I can. I'll look at. There you go.
Here is Russell Crowe talking about Gladiator 2. Go for it.
This is a story about a man who's avenging the death of his wife and his child. There cannot be a moment on that journey where he stops and has sex with somebody. Doesn't make any sense, because then that destroys the journey. And they fought me and sent me letters about it and everything. And I just stuck to my guns. And luckily for me, Ridley, even though he would have loved to write a sex scene with me and Connie Nielsen, he agreed with me back then that was the moral core of the film. So for them, the second movie, to destroy that moral center, very interesting, because the second movie barely took the same box office that the first movie took. But that's 20 years later. And when you apply how much of a change there's been on the value of a dollar, they failed. And they failed because they didn't understand why it was successful. It was successful because it had a moral core. And here's the thing.
He's getting choked up.
Yeah.
Most people like that. You know, on the surface, they'll go for entertainment, whatever. But in truth, they're going to love something.
Wow.
In the way that
What a breakdown.
Tonight, anywhere I'll be able to find you somewhere in the world. That film, 26 years later, is on primetime television. And it's available on streaming service. Why? Because the love for that thing is because of its moral core. Because, in a
You
way,
can pause it right there.
Okay, I will. All right, and that is lacking in so much stuff that comes out, because the people that they have doing stuff now have no idea why these things were successful. Like the people at Pixar don't understand why, or Disney or any other place. The people who are there now don't understand why this worked, because it's a different mindset that they have, so they don't understand that. Like,
That's a
that's
good
why
point.
yeah,
They have no connection or
no.
or care.
Right. So they come out and they try to belittle you and they tell you that you're supposed to like this. And I'm like, no, I don't have to like or do anything that I don't want to do. You can't guilt trip me into watching or participating or whatever the thing is that you are trying to push to me. You can't do that by making me. You can convince me, but a lot of these folks don't want to do the convincing because you're just supposed to do it. Because that's how their thought process works. Like, people love Gladiator specifically for that, because they like his character.
Moral code.
Yeah, dude. He lost his wife and kid. He ain't thinking about no other. I don't care if we were childhood, whatever. I was betrayed and it cost me my family. I am seeking vengeance so that when I die in the end, I die happy because I got my vengeance. Period. So I'm not gonna be bumping uglies with someone like this chick, because that's not on my that's not on my hero's journey. Yeah, so you get like James Gunn does not understand what makes heroes work, so that's why he can't actually. He can make irreverent heroes or heroes who are reluctant heroes. Which is crazy is like he can make a movie where you feel bad for a talking raccoon, but he doesn't understand what makes Superman work.
You know, when they have like what's it called? Like a conflict within themselves.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you don't get the concept. Which is weird is that Rocket may be sarcastic and all that, but in the end, he was a hero. So you, on some level, James Gunn understands what a hero is. On some level, because they may have been quirky, they may have been whatever, but each one of the Guardians of the Galaxy did the right thing in the end for the right reason. So you understand. You understand why you can't do that for Superman. I don't know why you can't do that for none of the other characters you're doing. Like that's what's really frustrating. You're like, bro, like the story, like the arc that Rocket does is excellent. So you understand. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird thing. It'd be different if none of his characters actually got that fundamental thing. Oh, and the Superman cartoon that is on HBO, the Kryptonians are conquerors. So like that's the cartoon where Jimmy Olsen is black, because like once you turn a character black, for some reason, well, people need to make them black all the time, even though it don't make any sense, because Jimmy Olsen just basically acts like a white dude who with brown skin. He has a hairdo is like a white dude. He got a white dude hairstyle. When he talks and acts and whatever, it's like a white dude. He's decided to make him brown. Like if you're gonna do this, you gotta commit, man. Like, but it's like, all right, whatever. And Lois Lane is Chinese. Like Lane is not a Chinese name. Father's Chinese. So yeah, it's really weird. And the Kryptonians were conquerors. So basically like invincible. They basically turned Superman into a Viltrumite.
That's interesting.
Yeah. He just happened to like land on Earth. And so it's funny considering how they kind of touched on that a little bit in the Supergirl thing. When she was sent to Earth, her dad said that her cousin, like her uncle, was a little nutty. So I'm like, why? But this goes back to what I was saying before. It's like you have proven that you understand what a hero is on some level. You just can't. It's really weird. All right, but we rambled enough. It's like an hour and 14 minutes, and you got to go to work tomorrow.
That was quick.
Yeah, dude. You're listening to me ramble on. So, you got anything to add to anything I was saying today?
I got my
Alright.
fan running.
All right. Well, on that note, to anyone who checked this out later on, thanks, and please like, share, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And on behalf of myself and Mr. Elton, later.
See ya.